Welcome, listeners, to another episode of Young Entrepreneurs Ringside. In the upcoming championship bout, we will have the pleasure of seeing Bobby Flight of Stairs of Fright McKibben facing the undisputed champion, Louis Pion. Louis, it's good to have you back with us.
Yeah, Joe, I'm real pleased being here. It's a beautiful time being here. I'm very, very excited. Every time since the last time I came on the show, things have really picked up from me, picked up the pace.
Louis, your product really took off, huh?
Yeah, Joe. Well, you'd be surprised. How many people are looking for a reliable watch. And everyone prices that they can just take off and put Pion. At special occasions, whenever they feel the need and they feel a pressing need, in their abdomen to have momentary release in the form of a liquid organism that spills all over other objects in space and time. I'm sure it does, Louis. I'm sure it does. So how do you feel about young Bobby Frightening Lightning Stairwell McKibben's? Yeah, Bobby Lightning Frightening McKibben's Stairwell is really he's a top contender. I gotta say, I'm very, very, very pleased. I'd be able to face the toughest, the most brutal competition out there. I'll be the world champion. My mother always told me if it's a young boy, I'd take him out of the waters and peeing up in the corner from 10 Brothers, Joe, in the Brooklyn, New Jersey. I'm always, pleased, but I have no bone of doubt. I have no doubt of bone in any bone in my body, Joe. I'm gonna go out there and do what I know how to do, I'm just gonna pee all over him. I'm just gonna pee all over him, from one angle and the other. He won't know where it's coming from. He won't know where it's coming from, He's gonna get wet all over his, the bottom of his shorts will be dripping with sweat, with sweat also probably because he's gonna be exerting slightly, a physical intensely effort, but there's also gonna be drips of pee coming off. And when those drips of pee, when they get into the tongue of the shoe, especially if I know that young Bobby McLaren, the Fright, Stairs and Lightning tends to wear laces, because that's his own promotion, So yeah, I think that and everyone knows that pee stains. It's real hard to get the smell of pee, especially if it comes from a female cat, out of it. And what do you got planned against his world famous technique of rope technique? There's nothing out there that can take me by surprise anymore, Joe. I've seen so many different styles in my meteoric career. I was rising all the way to the top ever since I just stepped foot into this arena, into this competitive arena of young entrepreneurs out there to make a name for themselves. I want to be the best in the world. And I just have this courage and the strength in me that I discovered on the mean streets of Brooklyn, New Jersey when I was growing up. 11 brothers and 10 of them were living at home with me and my mother. All he told me she's going to pee in the corner of the house, and go down to the barber shop and get the clippings if you want to take them home, and put them in a scrapbook, Joe. Your scrapbook is a very impressive one, Louis, I gotta say. Thank you, Joe. Thank you. It means a lot coming from you.
Anything else, Louis, you want to tell our listeners here tonight?
Yeah, I want to address all the young entrepreneurs, the younger ones, the younger entrepreneurs out there who may be listening to me and hearing that, a success story can always emerge from the darkest corners of humanity, for people that may not even have any kind of glimpse of hope because they themselves, they feel so rotten and everything, and everyone around them keeps on telling them that everything is impossible, and but if you really put your heart into it and you find a real passion, and you go after it and you murder your mother, so you might have a chance at becoming the best in the world, the champion of the world, the best, the greatest that ever lived, Fine words of encouragement from Louis Pion, the youngest champion we've ever had in Young Entrepreneurs Ringside, and arguably the most naturally gifted entrepreneur in the history of the sport. Thank you, Louis. Yeah, thanks, Joe.
And join us again, listeners, next week for our annual monthly report nearby the tri-state border of Oklahoma, Mississippi's Arkansas, and the company.